All right, legends, last week we did see in the Bitcoin market a huge amount of fear. We had Mt. Gox investors selling pressure, German government as well selling their Bitcoin. We're going to talk about some things in today's episode. Apparently, they have been buying back those Bitcoin, but this looks like it is fake news because the blockchain does not lie. They are still selling. Now, we do have, though, a huge amount of whales still accumulating at these levels. The wallets with over 10,000 Bitcoin, it's at its all-time high. In today's episode, we are going to go through the pure technical analysis, talking about the sign of strength, the sign of weakness, and those crucial levels of support and resistance that we need to pay attention in the next coming days. Quick reminder, guys, if you are interested in trading, one of the best trading platforms now for crypto is Bluffing. It is no KYC, just with an email and a password. You will be trading in amount of minutes. You have the biggest bonus down below with the third link, as you can see here, get up to $80,000 deposit bonus. The more you deposit and create that trading activity, you will be getting those airdrops, okay, to your futures account so you can trade with that free money. Let's go right away with the Bitcoin technical analysis. Higher time frame. Could this be a similar scenario that happened here back in between April and August of 2023, where we formed a huge, massive range, okay, with highs and lows? And as you can see, we did form a large ABC corrective structure in a flat where we tested the lows of the range and got a massive recovery. Now, as you can see from the all-time high, we did create a low, came back close to the highs, and now back down, testing the lows, and we are forming a little bit of a consolidation at this range. So could we form a very similar structure here where we are going to be recovering in the next coming weeks? I would take this into consideration for all of those swing traders. Without a doubt, this could be the point where the price does recover without even getting below $50,000. Definitely a possibility for those swing traders where the price could recover from this point. However, let's go to the lower time frame technical analysis. Let's just zoom in on the 4-hourly time frame and analyze where we at, because this movement that we had to the downside on Friday got a massive bounce during the weekend. Now, we wouldn't expect a lot of selling pressure during the weekend, and we got a big dead cat bounce. Now, we came back down, and where we bounced was an incredible technical level. Definitely acceptable for a long position. And why is that? We hit a naked point of control with the 7/8 Fibonacci, taking it from the pivot low from Friday to the pivot high here from Sunday. As you can see, tapping that 7/8 Fibonacci with that naked point of control from Friday. So very nice bounce. Now the question is this a B wave or is it a second wave? How explosive is the price going to be after breaking here the highs from yesterday? Now, these highs is at $58,500, very likely to be hit right now. And the main reason why is because this over here does not look impulsive, especially with this huge amount of retracement. When you hit the 0.88 Fibonacci, you're very likely to break through that high. Now, the question is this going to be a third wave or is it going to be a C wave? Now, we're going to talk about the most important levels of resistance, okay? So let's zoom out on the 4-hourly time frame and let's mark these levels here together just to take into consideration, because there is still a bearish case scenario. You might think that the price is breaking out from here and this is it. Time to moon and start breaking major resistance levels, right? We're going to go to 72K in a matter of a couple of weeks or less. Well, we need to take into consideration the strongest resistance zone. And this is as easy as just getting the fixed volume profile and taking a look at the entire range starting from late February. Now, the value area low from this entire range where we do have this high volume node, as you can see, is exactly at $62,600. So this is the value area low of the range, okay? And this level is extremely important. Possibly, we're not even going to reach that level with this movement to the upside. So let's talk about the bearish case scenario, right? We do have a possibility, okay, of getting rejected from this lower high resistance trend line, right? We've got this aggressive lower high right over here. And without a doubt, okay, the bearish case scenario would be getting the price action moving up in between the 1-to-1 and the 1.618 extension from the lows of Friday to the high of Sunday to the lows of today. And this would be the zone where the price could form a C wave, right? We're looking here for a possibility of a B, C right there, and then continuation to the downside. Now, of course, there is that bearish case scenario, because the bullish one would be that we have finished right there, as this high created on the 7th of June did not manage to take that high above $72,000 on a lot of exchanges. It did in the case on the Bybit chart, okay? But the bullish case scenario would be seeing that low here from the 24th of June, okay, wave 4 right there, and the wave 5 finishing on Friday. And the bullish case scenario, of course, would be getting some impulsive moves to the upside in the next coming days. So the bearish case scenario here is that we still haven't finished, all right, the next wave down, okay? Possibly looking at this as a contracting diagonal, as a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 right there. And we possibly going to form one more low, okay, in the next coming days. This is why the C wave resistance levels is a zone that we need to pay attention, which I'm going to explain right away. Also, the bullish case scenario that we'll go in just 1 second, okay? So looking at this ABC corrective move, where could it top out? Where do we have the strongest levels of resistance? Well, where we want it to top out here, basically, we do not want a wave 4 in this case, all right, surpassing the 618 Fibonacci, okay? The moment you start moving aggressively above this level, it decreases the probabilities of the price in this contracting diagonal, which is acceptable that you can get above the 618, but it decreases the probabilities that the price is going to move down from that point. So this zone in between $60,000 and the $61,000 range is the zone where you want to see the price action getting a reaction and not managing to continue to the upside. This is kind of in confluence with the 1-to-1 extension. When we do get the pivot low from Friday to the pivot high and the low of today, we're looking at the 1-to-1 extension and max zone, the 1-2-3-6-1-3-8-2, which is with the 7-8 Fibonacci, okay? So this is a zone where the price could top out if we are speculating on a C wave here to get one more push to the downside in the coming days to sweep up the lows, and then we can speculate on a possible recovery. If this price action were to happen in the next coming days, this would be extremely bullish. Just by getting above that pivot low from Friday after a breakdown would be the sign of strength for then speculating in a 1 wave, 2 wave, and then looking for the 3 wave and finally getting that uptrend, okay? So we're not out of the woods here just yet, purely based on the possibility of that bearish case scenario on a contracting diagonal here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is definitely a scenario that we need to take into consideration. And the price of Bitcoin, where it needs to reject, is in between 59K and 61K. So depending on the price action that we form here in the next couple of days, if we move all the way up there, it all depends on the volume, on the impulsive move, how many waves we've created here to the upside, and then analyze the possible rejection from that point to come back down to the lows. Now, the bullish case scenario, right? Well, most of exchanges, we haven't taken this high, and analyzing this as a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we are starting the impulsive moves to the upside, finishing this ABC structure right over here. Very similar to what happened in 2023 in that large range in between April and August. So this movement here to the upside, what we need to see, without a doubt, we have the lower high resistance trend line. We do have the value area low of the range, but already getting the price to 62,600 is, for me, going to be bullish. I would not see any bearish count here possible if we do manage to get all the way up there. Because if we are speculating here on this contracting diagonal? Well, without a doubt, we do not want to see here the fourth wave getting very close to the second wave, all right? This is already going to be an invalidation point, but without a doubt, I would expect a massive rejection. And the whole main reason why, it's because the value area low, you've got a high volume node here, as you can see on the volume profile on the fixed range. And without a doubt, you could get a pretty steep corrective move. However, this corrective move, after already tapping this zone, which is also with a 0.88 from this movement to the downside, is likely going to be corrective. And this would be a zone where I would be speculating here for a massive bounce in a third wave, okay? A massive breakout. And here's where you're going to start getting those patterns such as the inverted head and shoulder speculation, right? And the breakout coming all the way up to point of control, which would be the first resistance zone at 67K, right? Still a lot of speculation, but the moment the price does manage to break up and hit the $62,600 range, that is going to be a bullish sign. The rejection that is likely going to happen at this high resistance zone is going to be corrective, and we could be speculating on that second wave, all right, on the larger time frames, and that right shoulder, right, for that possible reversal scenario. So this is a great setup if you're not already into some swing long positions from lower levels. Without a doubt, this would be your ticket if we were to get all the way up to $62,600. We need to pay attention. I'll be doing a live stream, of course. If we do get this movement to the upside, we still need to consider the ABC three-wave move, all right? Getting in between the 1-to-1 and the 1-2-3-6, because it could top out and could reject to create one more low beneath $53,300. This is the zone I would be looking for the possibility of a sign of strength to long. And if we move up here, okay, to the $63,000 range and reject, also looking for a long position. And depending on the consolidation that we do form in between 59K and 61K for a speculation of a C wave, well, we could be looking for a possible swing short position for the next coming days for the price to come all the way down to the lows. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll be doing a live stream later on. Thank you, legends, and I'll see you in the next one.